I have this theory that the people who do the hat on in the weird direction and the right up there with the people who do the weird lip piercing, which is they're fucking with you. Like, it's antisocial. First off, it's saying, here's how most people wear their hat. I don't wear my hat that way. I wear it in a super uncomfortable, unattractive way that does nothing for me, and it shades the side of my neck. It does not keep the sun out of my eyes. It doesn't keep the hair out of my face. I will fuck myself up. It's right up there with I wear my pants somewhere around mid-crack line, like about half ass crack mass, like my balls died and my pants are flying at half crack. Like, first off, you think it's comfortable to wear pants that are around your fucking hips?
How can you even walk like that?
If a fucking car came around a corner, you'd get run over, and I'd be the first one cheering, by the way. Yeah. No, it's not comfortable to wear your hat. I wear ball caps all the time. They're sort of shaped to fit your head, which does kind of have a direction to it. It's
not just sort of.
Yeah, it's not a beach ball. It's got a little shape to it. And the hats and the caps are made. When you pull them sideways, it's kind of like wearing, it's like wearing underpants where you're going to, stick a leg through where the waist would go and put the leg up around your waist. Like, it's fucking uncomfortable. Now, that's uncomfortable. Also, having multiple hoops through your lower lip. I do not believe aids in your eating, lovemaking, your speech and debate class. It does not help you get a job.
Yeah,
it doesn't help you do anything.
Could help with ziplining.
It's a very subtle way and not so subtle way of going, fuck you. I'm uncomfortable. I want you to feel my discomfort. I want you to feel discomfort. This hat, it's an apparel equivalent to you having a booger that's going in and out of your nose as you laugh like a piston, or you having a piece of broccoli on your front tooth. It's fucking me up. And I know, but the broccoli and the booger you're unaware of. The hat you're in charge of. And you know what you're saying. It's antisocial. It's fuck you. And the lip thing, it's forcing me to go, ow, that looks like it hurts. And then I have to do what if that got caught on something? And then I do that, what if you're eating one of those little mini chops, those little lamb chops? It's like appetizer, you get sauté. You get the sauté spear, and it like somehow goes through there, and it pulled away or something. Or
I'd actually managed to never think about that. But now I feel yucky.
Now you're forced to.
Yeah.
Right. This is an antisocial, fuck you, think about me, and this. And there's a million versions of it. There's a million. There's a tattoo version of it. There's a piercing version of it.
There's a hair color version.
I'm going to wear my hat. I'm going to wear my hair. I'm going to take the fucking baffles out of the pipes of my Harley so you can hear me. There's a hear me, look at me, see me, feel me thing. And my thing is, just fuck off.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
Yeah, same old story. Whatever, I ain't consulting anybody because that's how the Crash Man rolls here. And, of course, it is 3 p.m. Eastern Time in the big city of New York. And, of course, that means only one thing because it's Wednesday. So it's the Wednesday Grinder for coffee and cigarettes today. You betcha. Today, of course, being Wednesday, the 11th of March, 2015, where it is currently, happily, again, I am very happy to report, same as yesterday, 52 degrees in Central Park right now and sun shining. It's getting warm. But you're like, yeah, so what? I live in Indiana. I don't care about New York weather. Well, what do you care about? Well, you care about the stories and the show today. Yes, so, without further ado, today on The Big Show, the coffee crowd is looking at the big one. That's right. George Takei is sitting in his home in Los Angeles, California, a little bit more worried today as news of the big one draws near. Yes, California is bracing for the imminent 9.0 earthquake that scientists now say will come any time now. Yes, so be afraid. Be very afraid. Not just of the earthquake either, because the Apple Watch, you should be afraid of the Apple Watch too. It's finally doing what science fiction has been spewing for decades. Yes, we finally caught up in 2015. Also, the FBI finds a bunker, a hidden bunker of one of America's most wanted up in the Pacific Northwest today. And Northeast news, well, it is 52 and sunny in the city here, but icebergs. There be icebergs. Not even kidding. Huge icebergs, in fact, floating into Cape Cod. We got all that and so much more today on the big show. So come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, and indeed, light one up. It's coffee time. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the big program today. 3:03 Eastern now, for those of you just tuning in. This is HTLA Radio 1 New York's Best Talk. Coffee and cigarettes, the Wednesday grinder. And, yeah. Just in case you don't know, although you probably do, this show and all the fine coffee and cigarette shows are brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City. Now, with 8 fine locations in the city to serve all your coffee and baked good needs, try them out. Because why? You might say why. Why, Crash? Why should we bother with Tim Hortons? Well, simple, my friends. Because it's always fresh. There you go. It's all you need right there. Also, we are a PreSonus broadcast studio, broadcasting on our 2442 digital mixer from PreSonus. You can check out more incredible digital gear at PreSonus.com. Check them out today, okay? Hey. And also a reminder that this show is
powered by Procast.
Yes, we are. I don't even know what that means, but we don't need to know what that means, do we? No, we just need to know that this show is
powered by Procast.
There we go. There's a double shot for you today on the Wednesday Grinder. And of course, this show is designed to help make your hump day a little bit brighter, a little bit easier, a little bit more, I don't know, easy.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
And that, of course, is the one, the only Louis Lawless coming to us via satellite, because that's how he likes it, all the way from beautiful Mill Bay Studios in Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada. And I don't even have to ask you if you're there, Louis. I know you're there, so...
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Yes, of course, and I'll be ready with that button every time.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, and that's good. We love having you. Absolutely. Also joining us from his beautiful, spacious, sprawling, lavish, gorgeous... I can't think of too many more words to use for his beautiful apartment in the city here.
Yes.
But of course, it is the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried. Welcome to the show. Okay, it's good that you're here and you're ready to do your job, huh?
What the fuck?
We got the button for you.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we got the button for you. Yeah, you going to be a radio host today?
A radio host. Yes.
All right. So we're good with that. All right, Gilbert. And joining us from his shaky home in in Los Angeles, California, is the one, the only George Takei. George, welcome to the show.
I think it's a treat to be here talking with you.
Well, and it's good to have you here, and I'm glad you're still alive. Yeah, it's always a good thing. And, well, I guess before we roll here, because we got a bunch of stuff to get to today, before we roll here, we'll let Gilbert do his contractual obligation.
Yes.
Yes, and sing for us. So you take it away, Gilbert. Yeah.
Na, 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 na. Ba, ma, 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 ma. Oh, yeah. Who wants to grow up? Who wants responsibility? Oh, no, not me. Who wants to show up and work until you're 93? Now everybody says you're running wild. The teacher's calling you a problem.
Ooh, there we go. There it is right there. It does not get any better than that. No. That is the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried singing.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll move the hell on then. So what is the first item up for bids here on The News is All Wrong? Oh, yes. The bad news for, well, Mr. Takei. It's not looking good. The big one. Yes, the big one is coming. Well, at least it's more likely. Today's recent, yes, as of this morning, the forecast is calling for a 9.0 on the old California sphincter scale. In Palm Springs, California today, scientists have come up with a new forecast estimating the chances of earthquakes in California, and they say the probability of as strong a magnitude 9 quake has grown since the last assessment given 7 years ago. Researchers with the U.S. Geological Survey and other organizations said in a study released this week the estimated risk of a magnitude 9 or larger, George. Larger than a 9, is likely in the next 30-year period. So, yeah, you'll still be alive, right? No? Okay. It has actually increased to 7%, up from 4.7 in the previous assessment back in 2008. Meanwhile, they said they now expect moderate-sized earthquakes of magnitudes 6.5 to 7.5 to be somewhat less frequent than they had previously forecast. Earthquakes of magnitude 6.7 or larger, the size of the 1994 Northridge quake, are projected to strike once every 6.3 years, they said, down from every 4.8 years in 2008. Now, well, Ned Field is a U.S. Geological Survey geophysicist and the lead author of the study. He said his new forecast was created using a model that incorporates the latest research and seismological data. What the model really does is to provide a significant refinement of our estimates of where and how often earthquakes will occur throughout the state, Field said in his interview today. As we filled the fault inventory over the years, we've just realized that we're dealing not with separate isolated faults, but a vast interconnected system of faults, Field said. The fact that we're now dealing with an interconnected fault system effectively has allowed larger earthquakes to occur in the model, and that has increased the rate of magnitude 9 and above events by an estimated 20%. The estimates are laid out in a third version of the Uniform California Earthquake Rupture Forecast, which includes people to view the projected chances of quakes along different faults using the Google Earth. Yeah. Well, it's okay, but it's not really that funny. Oh, man. Okay. All right. It was that funny. All right. We'll go with that. Sure. The findings, Field said, will help update building codes and earthquake insurance policies and will affect how engineers design skyscrapers, hospitals, bridges, schools, and water infrastructure in the future. This will help all those people working to make society resilient, Field said. It will help them do a better job of that. David Oglesby, a seismologist at UC Riverside who wasn't involved in preparing the forecast, said the study will also contribute to emergency preparedness systems. It allows us to focus our efforts in places that can do the most good, Oglesby said. It's a snapshot of our current understanding of seismic hazards in California based on the best available science that we can incorporate into such a model right now. Tom Jordan, director of the Southern California Earthquake Center, is a co-author of the study. He said in the statement that while seismic activity in California has been relatively lower over the past century, we know that tectonic forces are usually tightening the springs of the San Andreas Fault system, making big quakes inevitable, he says. Scientists have long warned that the southern portion of the San Andreas Fault is overdue for a strong quake, in part because the last time a big quake hit the area was around 1690. The southern Andreas, going through the Coachella Valley and up through the Mojave, is the most likely place in the state to host a large-scale earthquake, Field said. In the area of Coachella, for instance, the model predicts a likelihood of a magnitude 9 or larger quake on the southern San Andreas Fault to be 21% during this next 30-year bracket. The chances of a magnitude 7.5 or higher quake are estimated at 11%. Plate tectonic stresses have really built up beyond where they do on average, Field said, and we think that those areas are particularly high in terms of the likelihood of having a large magnitude earthquake. So, George, be afraid. Be very afraid. You're going to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are a douchebag.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, what do you do, right?
Which woman are you married to or living with now? The same one? The mother of the daughter, or was it a boy?
It's a girl boy. Yeah.
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak. You don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that? Yeah, you think so, huh?
No, I don't.
Oh, there you go. There it is. Well, then it's okay. We're whatever. We're going to be fine. George, just keep saying that mantra to yourself over and over again. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. See, here's another thing that you can think about. William Shatner doesn't live too far from George, and just stop and think about this. Now, would the gods really want Shatner dead? Right? No. See. No. They wouldn't.
Do you think I'm sexually aroused by Mr. Shatner? I did not sleep with him.
All right. Well, I'm not going to say anything more. It's just, I was just saying, there's no way the gods would let that happen. So you're fine. You're fine. Just relax.
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Award, and I think it's a fantastic risk because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and you have to give them a DVD now.
Ah, yes. There's your $25,000 monkey, Louis.
About fucking time. Move on.
Yes.
All right. Well, moving on today, our next story up is the Apple Watch. Yes, big news. Yes, Apple Watch, Skype. How long sci-fi took to become real life. Well, this week's introduction of the Apple Watch harkens back nearly 70 years. Yes, and I certainly know that George will remember. Well, in fairness, Gilbert, I guess you too.
Yes.
Yeah, 70 years back to Dick Tracy and his two-way radio watch. He didn't check weather forecasts or track his daily fitness activity, though. Well, we look at roughly how long it's taken now for technology to go from being popularized on page or screen to reaching the real world. It took the cell phone from 1965 to 1984 to go from fact to fiction, or fiction to fact. Fact, fiction, fact. I don't know. Something like that. Anyhow, it took 19 years. Yeah. And the smart glasses, yes, the Google smart glasses, well, from fiction to fact, it took 24 years. They were first seen in 1989 and became a reality in 2013. In 1989, the movie Back to the Future Part 2, the future family of Marty McFly, depicted in 2015, used, quote, video glasses to watch TV, 2 channels at once, and make video phone calls. Well, in 2013, Google Glass made its small-scale debut, but its built-in camera almost immediately raised privacy concerns. The product was pulled off the market this year, at least until it can be retooled. I like retooling, yeah. Oh, it's crazy. And video chat, yes. Well, from fiction to fact, 1966, thank you, George Takei, to 2003. On Star Trek, which debuted in 1966, Captain James T. Kirk bickered with enemy Klingons via a giant video screen on the bridge of the Enterprise. Well, starting in 2003, you could share sweet nothings or bicker with your significant other from the comfort of your computer. Yeah, that's... true story. And, of course, the next fiction to fact is a 40-year span for the robot vacuum. Yeah, 1962 it was first conceived, and there it is, a reality in 2002. A total of 40 years gone by to get that. How did the Jetsons keep their apartment in the sky so tidy in their 1962 show? Well, Rosie, a robot housekeeper, took on the tedious task of vacuuming, although not without a little attitude. You remember the attitude, yeah. And in 2002, iRobot released the Roomba, a small disc-shaped appliance that sweeps your floors while motoring around your home sass-free. I've used that thing. It doesn't work worth shit. It does not. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Yes. It does not. It's garbage. Okay, well, moving on. The digital personal assistant. Yeah, fact to fiction took 43 years, or fiction to fact. I keep screwing that up. Yeah. Fact or fiction or fact. Well, fiction to fact is what I'm talking about right now, although you wouldn't know it listening to me. Well, in the 1968 film 2001: A Space Odyssey, the ship's computer HAL 9000 speaks in a soft, soothing tone while staging a mutiny. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Is that good?
Yes.
Yeah? Thanks. I try. Well, I'm afraid I can't do that. Yes. In 2011, Apple's iPhone 4S came implanted with a personality. Well, it's a personality I like to call Susan because I know her. Yeah. She's a great voiceover lady. And she follows all of our Twitters and listens to our shows. I'm going to do the shout out in just a minute here, but I'm sorry, Dave, can't do that. Yeah, in 2011, Apple's iPhone 4S came with the implanted personality called Siri, complete with a soft, soothing, but less evil intent. Yeah. I can only imagine if they got Gilbert Gottfried to do Siri. Would that not be awesome?
Yes.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut, always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, that's absolutely true, Louie. Absolutely true. Well, we got to go for our first commercial break of the hour, and when we come back, we'll get into, the smartwatch. Fiction to fact took 67 years. We'll be back in 2 minutes, gang.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions. Abundant with rich, fertile soil. What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, Nunavut. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out, we never style, we never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
I remember growing up, it seemed like Juliet Prowse was on TV every day.
Yeah, I think I remember that too. Man, that was a long time ago.
And much like Charlize Theron, she also was an African American.
That's correct. That's correct. And I do remember that. Yeah, I do, George. You're not even kidding. You know.
I remember being on your radio show in Chicago.
Don't think so, Gilbert. No.
Yeah, and I remember we hung out afterwards and had a wild time.
Yeah, okay. Well, welcome back to the Wednesday Grinder. Don't know quite how to respond to that there, but what the hell. And also, yes, shout-outs and salutations, of course, to Susan Bennett. Yes, Seriously Susan is her handle on Twitter. She's a voiceover artist and singer, and most of you know her as the voice of Siri, working for Vox USA in Los Angeles. She's from Atlanta, Georgia, and you can learn all you want to learn about Miss Bennett by just dropping in susancbennett.com. Go check her out there, and, well, I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Susan, for listening. She does follow all of our shows on Twitter, and she's been a listener for a good while now. So yeah, shout outs to Susan, and keep up the good work. And
I remember too.
Oh God!
When we were in the alleyway, pants zipped up. There was this one, sleazy-looking guy who walked by,
yeah, Louis,
who was staring at us, and you turned around, and he was a what? What's your problem? And you said you don't give a shit.
Okay, well now, okay, all right, but now I'm going to get some payback, Gilbert. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
Now, I am. I'm going to get George. Yes, George, why don't you tell Gilbert about Bobby, huh?
The boys around me were saying things like, Sally is cute, or Monica is hot. And I thought Sally and Monica were nice, but who really got me excited was Bobby.
Oh, yeah, and tell us, what about Bobby got you excited, George?
What particularly was exciting was he had blonde forearm hair, and he was tan. That's what caught my eye when I first saw him. He had his T-shirt on, but you can see that he had great pectoral T-shirts. And then to see it off, and gorgeous
That's good. I bet you like that, huh?
Yes.
There you go. So maybe keep that bloody Chicago story to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I could see you feel very uncomfortable talking. Now there was another time you were when I know you're very secretive about your drug problem.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's something I don't talk about.
Break for a commercial.
Yeah.
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
Well, you should. I think you should. Absolutely.
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Yeah. Yes. We do know that. Yeah. Well, don't laugh, Gilbert. You did too.
Yes.
So yes, seriously, Susan Bennett, voiceover extraordinaire, and well, she's seriously probably in your pocket right now. Yeah. Well, moving on in the big show today, we're telling you all about the fiction to fact, and that the smartwatch, yes, Dick Tracy's little watch that he used to call up his best buddy and get the lowdown. Originally in 1946, well, we now have that in 2013. It took 67 years. In a 1946 comic strip, Dick Tracy first used his handy wristwatch for police communications. By 2013, tech companies Samsung and Pebble were releasing mass-market smartwatches to the public that could receive calls and learn more just the time via apps. Yes. Self-driving cars. Well, you might have forgotten that because it's on a little-known television series that actually Louis worked on, and that would be, of course, 1982's Knight Rider. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 1982. Fiction or fact? In 1982, David Hasselhoff, or the Hoff, fought crime with the help of a computerized Trans Am called KIT in Knight Rider. Today, Google is testing prototypes of a driverless car with decidedly less personality. Apple is also reportedly looking to get into this race, and with more money than God, you can look to be driving an Apple before too long. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. So that's your fiction to fact dealio there. That's what we've got for you so far on that one. We're, of course, working tirelessly every day to bring you even more technological advances. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Anyhow, moving on in our stories today, FBI has uncovered a secret hidden bunker of America's most wanted perpetrator. Using clues that read almost like a childhood treasure hunt, local police and federal agents have uncovered what they believe is a fugitive's underground bunker near Washington's Lake Sammamish. This comes to us from KOMO-TV. Authorities say they think the moldy, garbage-strewn hideout was at some point built and used by 46-year-old Bradley Stephen Robinette, a convicted bank robber who fled his Seattle supervised release program more than 5 years ago. Robinette, who was featured on America's Most Wanted in 2011 per KOMO, was arrested in June in Oregon and pled guilty in January to charges of escape, possessing a firearm as a felon, and interstate transport of a stolen vehicle, for which he'll be sentenced in May, Kairos 7 reports. Robinette was released from an Arizona prison in 2009 after a 7-year stint for bank robbery, and instead of going to a halfway house as required, he simply disappeared. He continued his crime spree up in Washington and Oregon, KOMO notes, and even came close to being caught at least 2 other times before his 2014 capture, but he eluded the police. Cairo says he got away from them a 3rd time via a kayak. Yes, the big kayak escape. Yeah. Well, an ATF agent helping the search wooded area near Lake Sammamish yesterday noticed a piece of wood that seemed to miss, and when officials moved it, they discovered an opening to a 10-by-8 bunker. Yeah, although officials seem confident the bunker is Robinette's, they're not sure when he may have stayed there. The review notes that the site seems to have been abandoned for a decade or so, so this might not even be it at all. There you go. Big story today. We found a bunker, but wait, it couldn't have been his. He was in jail when it was made. Yeah. Well, there you go. See, always bringing you the top stories here that matter to you most. Yeah. or don't. Just don't matter at all. That's, of course, the other way we can go with it. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It just does not matter. Oh. Well, how about this? This will be a good one. Mark my words, damn it. Icebergs in Massachusetts. Yes, huge icebergs seen on Cape Cod. Well, as we all know, this winter has produced human-sized chunks of ice washing ashore on Cape Cod, but how about building size? Yeah. Eric Fisher, chief meteorologist for CBS Boston, called it a once-in-a-generation event due to New England's weather conditions of 2015. Fisher told USA Today Network that via email that he's never seen ice like this off Massachusetts. It's been an amazing winter with some unforgettable scenes. By most account, this is likely the most ice we've seen develop since the 1977 and 78 winter, perhaps farther back than that. He added it's definitely a limited attraction. There's still plenty of it, but the chunks are getting smaller, and whatever gets stranded on the beach is melting away. A Cape Cod-based artist who goes by Depixera has captured dramatic images of what appear to look like the icebergs. Depixera said on Twitter, the icebergs are now melting. There you go. That's the big word there. And, of course, if you want to actually see those pictures, hey, go to Twitter, your original news source. Yeah. What do you want? What do you want from me? Huh? We're just the lonely radio news. What the hell's going on? You go to Twitter for all the good stuff. 12 winter storms affected the U.S. from January 21st through March 5th. The Weather Channel reports 11 of the storms struck New England with at least light snow accumulations, where four of the storms brought 16 inches of snow or more to Boston, according to the Weather Channel. For Boston, this is the second snowiest season on record, with a total accumulation so far of 105.7 inches of snowfall. This also according to the Weather Channel. February alone garnered 64.7 inches of snow, making it the snowiest month in Boston, like ever, dude. Like, I'm serious, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Well, the White House is making some moves today. I always wonder what these news guys mean by saying stuff like that. The White House is making some moves today. Like what? It's freaking up dancing on the hill? What's going on? I do not know, but the White House is making moves today. The Obama administration said today it's slapping new sanctions on Russian separatists fighting in the Ukraine. Yeah, that's it. We're mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to... Yeah, new sanctions on Ukraine because I don't know. We need more wars. I think. Yeah, that's it. We don't have enough going on right now. It hasn't cost us enough, both in lives and money. Let's tick off Putin. That's my call. There. Let's just get in there and give him some. Well, we're going to go for our second commercial break. And when we come back, we'll tell you that story, as well as a worker who celebrates 50 years on the job with not one sick day. Yeah, check that out. We'll be back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, none of it. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
It could be 7 in the morning. Or 10 at night.
In Chilliwack, BC.
Or St. Peters, Nova Scotia.
It could be Michelle.
Or Mark.
Or Jen.
But whenever, wherever you order that cup of Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee,
You know that it's always fresh.
From Newfoundland and Labrador to Vancouver Island, Tim Hortons, a coffee all our own.
You walked into the hotel as a 5. But when she saw the room, you turned into a weird 7. When she saw the rooftop pool, you went to 11. You two should probably get a room. Oh, that's right. You already did. At Planet Earth's #1 accommodation site, Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular Insights, Superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
That booing and screaming will do it to you every time. Yeah.
Break for a commercial.
Yeah, no. Welcome back to the big program today. Coffee and cigarettes, the Wednesday grinder for this, the Wednesday 11th of March 2015. 3:43 in the PM right now in the big city, NYC, where it is now 54 degrees and sunny. And apparently, do you know, that they're saying it could actually get up to 60. I'm not even kidding. 60 degrees. Here we go, yeah?
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
Yeah. Gilbert Godfrey, 60 degrees, yeah. Oh, he's so hot. Yeah. Welcome back to the big program. And just before the break, we were telling you about Obama and the White House making the moves, yeah, dancing up on the hill. New sanctions on Russian separatists and non-lethal aid to the Ukraine, to which begs the question out of me, do they offer them lethal aid? Yeah, well, we'll give you $3 billion in non-lethal aid, and, well, here's some lethal aid, yeah.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut, always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's a American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, it is, and there you go. The Obama administration today is slapping new sanctions on Russian separatists fighting in Ukraine and sending $75 million in new non-lethal defensive security assistance to the Ukrainian government. It is a, quote, continuation of military assistance that has already been provided by the USA, White House spokesman Josh Earnest said. Now get this though. This is sexy. You know, here we are in this country. We got our dude out there in Chicago or whatever has got to, walk 21 miles to work. Yeah. 21 miles to work until, somebody comes up with a GoFundMe campaign to get him, $500,000. And yeah, but our government's giving. Yeah, here you go. Thanks. Have a nice day. Giving. The new package includes up to 200 unarmored Humvees, 30 armored Humvees, drones, and communications and surveillance equipment. Yeah, this comes from two White House officials who spoke on the condition of anonymity Because they knew they'd get in shit. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. The U.S. Treasury Department, meanwhile, announced it has expanded its sanctions list to include officials from the former Russian-backed Ukraine government, as well as Russian nationals who have been backing separatists who are fighting in eastern Ukraine. Vice President Biden, holy crap, we never hear from Vice President Biden. What the hell is going on? Well, Vice President Biden discussed the assistance in a phone call with Ukraine President Petro Poroshenko, the White House said in the statement. Biden noted with concern the ongoing violations of the ceasefire by a Russian-backed separatist near Donetsk and Mariupol, and their refusal to allow international monitors into occupied territory because they wouldn't want a letter from the UN. Yeah. Yes, the statement did not mention the prospect of offensive weapons for Ukraine, a step urged by some U.S. officials, completely unnamed, of course. Yeah. Well, Ernest said the president is mindful of the fact that there is not a military solution to this problem, but the Ukraine government also is entitled to defend itself, he said. Some congressional Republicans denounced the new non-lethal package as inadequate. It needs to be more lethal. Yeah. The Ukrainians are begging for help, and Congress is begging the administration to provide the defensive lethal assistance we authorized in December, says Corey Fritz, a spokesman for House Speaker John Boehner. You don't want to be pulling a boner in the Ukraine. No. He needs to just step off, I think. Yes. Yeah. Let's play it the safe way here, shall we? The new $75 million comes from the Defense Department's European Reassurance Initiative. It includes spending on radios, counter-mortar, radar, medical equipment, night vision goggles, military ambulances. Man, we just got nothing but money to give away here. What the hell? Let's just give it all away. At the same time, Ernest said the administration remains concerned about evidence that Russia is actively supporting separatists in eastern Ukraine and that they are violating the terms of the recent truce agreement. It does leave open this question about providing additional military assistance to the Ukrainian military, Ernest said. Diplomacy remains the priority, however. The goal here is to get the Russians to abide by generally accepted international norms when it comes to respecting the territorial integrity of another sovereign country, which, of course, they have a long history of doing. Yeah. Many European leaders oppose lethal aid to Ukraine. Oh, look at that. Citing concerns about Russian reaction. Germany's ambassador to the United States, Peter Wittig, told the Associated Press this week that Obama agreed not to send lethal aid during a meeting last month with German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and that if he does do that, we will implement the final solution. Obama and Merkel agreed, quote, to give some space for those diplomatic and political efforts that were underway. So just back off and give us some time to work it out.
Yes.
You know? And how about this guy, this worker? Yes, this worker bee, this man who, for the last 50 years, has been on the job with no sick days. Yeah. Now that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, America, right there. That's the stuff that made us great. Oh, yes. Yeah. Great, damn it. You know? No? Okay. Well.
Break for a commercial.
Yeah. Well, in Perrysville, Ohio, last year, the Bureau of Labor Statistics said that the average time an employee stays with a company is just about 4.5 years. But one local delivery man is anything but average. This year, Ron Klein celebrated 60 years of being in the workforce. It started with helping his father on the farm, but then he found a job at the Mansfield Plumbing. Now, 50 years later, he's still there, day in and day out. Klein works out of Perrysville, a small town about 25 miles southeast of Mansfield. That's relatively quiet in the early morning, all except for even more reliable sound of Klein's delivery truck. He began with Mansfield Plumbing in the winter of 1965. Now 70 years old, Klein is still there. He's never ever taken a sick day. He says you have to go back to his school days to find the last blemish on his attendance record. He missed a day to attend a funeral, but he added that the school should have excused him. Klein's boss, Terry Reed, the company's distribution manager, said she practically wishes that she had about 10 more just like him. He's here every day, Reed explains. He's got a smile on his face every day. He's got the best attitude of anybody here or anywhere else. I couldn't make him stay home if I wanted to. Klein spent a lot of his 50 years there working next to family. 3 of his brothers work for the company, along with his youngest son and oldest daughter. All in all, the Klein family has more than 220 combined years at Mansfield Plumbing. Klein and his wife Lois had 11 kids. Klein even delivered the 4 youngest. Wow, that's working overtime. Yeah. God, I've only got 7, and I thought I was screwed. Yeah.
Which woman are you married to or living with now? The same one? The mother of the daughter? Or was it a boy?
No, it's a boy. Yeah. Oh, Louie, what am I going to do with you? Well, anyway, he had 11 kids. Klein even delivered 4 of the youngest. His friends call him Hot Dog. Hot Dog. But a more suitable nickname may be the Delivery Man. Yeah. The Delivery Man, baby. Yeah. The last ones we had at home, I delivered them. Well, Lois had a lot to do with that, he says. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. We're getting good at this, he says. Now with, get this, 38 grandchildren, Mr. Klein continues to lead a busy life. He spends his days going to birthday parties, ball games, family auctions, and, of course, work. Each and every morning, as reliable as the sun, climbs up in the cab and sets out on Ohio's open roads. As far as retirement, Klein says he's not ready. I haven't even thought about it, he said. And we actually did try to arrange for him to be in the studio with us today for this segment so that we could actually interview him. But he called in sick. Oh, he did. Yeah. There you go. So, yeah, take that with you, and yeah. Now let's look at some more excellent spending of money, shall we? Bomb sniffing elephants. Yeah. I'm not even kidding. No, bomb sniffing elephants. It's not so nutty, says the U.S. Army. Well, this story out of Johannesburg in the Associated Press. Armed with a sharp sense of smell, dogs have a long history of detecting explosives for their human handlers. Trained rats sniff out landmines from old African wars. In Croatia, researchers have tried to train bees to identify TNT. What the frick? Oh, yes, that makes total sense. See them out there with their little leashes and the... Go find the bomb, little bee. Go find the bomb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, now elephants. Yes. New research conducted in South Africa by involving the U.S. military shows that they excel at identifying explosives by smell, stirring speculation about whether their extraordinary ability can save lives and if they can actually genetically breed elephants to make their trunks really long because they're scared. Yeah. Yes. They work it out very, very quickly, said Sean Hensman, co-owner of the Game Reserve, where 3 of the protected elephants are blown up every day. No. I'm only kidding. Yes, where 3 elephants passed the smell test by sniffing at buckets and getting a treat of marula, a tasty fruit. When they showed that they recognized samples of TNT, a common explosive, by raising a front leg. Another plus, elephants remember their training longer than dogs, says Stephen Lee, the head scientist at the U.S. Army Research Office, a major funder of the research. There's where our money's going.
Yes.
Yeah. I was wondering where the hell that went. Well, the research comes as elephant populations across Africa are, of course, threatened. Poachers across the country and continent have annually killed tens of thousands of elephants for their tusks in recent years because of a surge of demand for ivory in Asia, primarily China. The pachyderm's potential prowess in detecting explosives was noticed in Angola, a country that many elephants had returned to after 2002 peace deal ended a protracted war that saw many elephants being slaughtered. While there was peace, the land remained sown with minefields. Some elephants seemed to intentionally avoid them, though it might not have been a scent that kept them away. They could have instead associated those areas with danger because elephants had died there in the past. Researchers were inspired, however, to find out what was actually going on. Near Bella Bella, a town north of the South African capital of Pretoria, elephants named Shan, Messina, and Chisru were administered smelling tests. The elephants detected TNT samples 73 out of 74 times that they encountered its odor in a line of buckets, says Ashadi K. Miller, a zoology student at the School of Animal, Plant, and Environmental Sciences at the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg. In the same test, the elephants wrongly identified only 18 out of 502 buckets containing TNT, amounting to a 3.6% error rate, Miller said. In the buckets containing the explosive was dissolved in acetone on filter paper. Only the acetone and filter paper were put out in the other buckets. In the second set of tests, the elephant scored 100%, detecting TNT in 23 out of 23 buckets when distractor odors of tea, bleach, soap, and gasoline were placed in other buckets, she said. Lugging around huge mammals to minefields wouldn't be practical, so one idea is to bring parts of the minefields to them. Unmanned drones could collect scent samples from the mined areas. A trained elephant would then smell and alert handlers, and it would be all gold from there. Yeah. Lee said researchers also think... Well, Lee said researchers are also thinking of designing a sensor based on an elephant trunk, which puffs out air, stirring up an area, and then sucks air in to smell. Florida International University participated in the initial search, and it was done on a shoestring budget with volunteers, he said. The findings did not surprise George Whittemire, an assistant professor at Colorado State University's Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Conservation Biology. Whittemire, who was not involved in the South Africa survey, has studied elephants in Kenya. Their world is primarily olfactory, he said. This sensitivity is recognized as being unparalleled in the world across any species. There you go.
Yes.
And in our final story today, Tim Cotton for president. Ooh. A bill would make it easier for him to run. Yeah, I bet you it would. Yeah. Oh. Senator, apparently, Tom Cotton's rise in politics has been described as meteoric. But a presidential bid in 2020? A bill that would make it easier for the Republican senator to run for re-election in the White House at the same time in 2020 is advancing in, of course, Arkansas. Yeah. The Arkansas State Senate, barely 3 months after Cotton was sworn in at the U.S. Senate, Cotton has been making headlines this week for writing the GOP a letter to Iranian officials. Oh, that ought to be good. Yeah. Now we're going to be breaking out an all-out war, yeah. Tom Cotton would be my current idea of someone who should be afforded this opportunity, State Senator Bert Hester, a Republican, told the Associated Press. Politics, if I've learned anything, just stop right there. You're a politician. No. If I've learned anything, it changes every day, and there could be a great new hope show up tomorrow. Yeah, sure.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, Cotton is the Senate's youngest member at the age of 37. He's an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran with a Harvard law degree. Who the hell's sending Harvard law degrees into war? What the hell are we doing there? Cotton, who served so far only one House term, defeated Democrat Mark Pryor last year to get his spot. And, wow, Cotton for president. Cotton for president. Cotton's never been popular in this country. I would think that now, while you're kind of relatively, well, okay, let's not beat around the bush, completely unknown, you might, I don't know, change the name. Yeah. Well, gang, that's all the time we got for today. I want to thank everybody for hanging out here with me today, both listeners and guests alike. Thank you, Louie, very much for coming by here.
He needs love, Chris. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
You got to dispense more love from yourself. All these people are hurting here.
We'll be dispensing. Oh, yeah. Also, the one and only Gilbert Godfrey, thank you again for being here. It's been great.
But I love every second of it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And also, George Takei, thank you.
I've enjoyed it thoroughly. It has been a fantastic experience.
Yeah. Well, maybe not fantastic. You just laughed a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawler.
We'll get that check out to you right away, Louie. Thank you, HTLARadio1.com. Check out all the shows. And definitely check out Tim Horton's New York City with those 8 fine locations to serve all your coffee and baked goods needs. Hope this has made your Wednesday a little easier. We'll see you here tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, for coffee and cigarettes, the Thursday Double-Double. And a reminder tonight, big show, big on HTLA. HTLA's The Spotlight is released tonight, first show, 9 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you don't forget to miss that one. Yeah. And everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Listening and support the show for the love of God.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.